Life is yours, so keep hope from yourself, because no one can understand your pain better than yourself. Dear friends, it is a story of ancient times. A mighty king named Hukam Singh ruled in a city named Raghunathpur. King Hukam Singh had 3 beautiful queens. The eldest queen's name was Vasundhara, who was a very beautiful, well-mannered and good-natured woman. Most of her time was spent in worship, religious activities and serving her husband. The king had 2 other younger queens. One was named Triveni, and the youngest queen was named Rupmala. Both were young and very beautiful too. Friends, the thing was that when the king did not have any children from the elder queen Vasundhara, then the king married Triveni. But when Triveni also did not have any children, then he married Rupmala. Thus, even after marrying 3 times, the king did not have children. This thing used to pain him a lot. He used to think in his mind, I got married with the desire of having a son, I did all the pujas, havans and yagnas, but still I have not got the happiness of having a child. Friends, this is the rule of the world. No person here is untouched by sorrows. Be it a king or a beggar, everyone has to face the waves of sorrows in the sea of life. Due to not having a child, despite having all the comforts, the king had become very disappointed and frustrated. He was always worried about this. Who will take care of this huge kingdom after me? Who will handle it? King Hukam Singh loved his elder queen Vasundhara very much. Vasundhara was the best among the 3 queens in terms of intelligence and culture. Due to her good nature, the king gave her special respect. Before doing any work, the king used to consult Vasundhara. Vasundhara also always spoke about the king's welfare. When the king was immersed in some worry, Vasundhara gave him courage and solace. This is the duty of a true devoted wife, that when her husband is worried about something, she should give him courage and take him out of his stress. Friends, when the king used to give Vasundhara a lot of respect due to her qualities, seeing this, both the younger queens used to get jealous. Although the king used to give full respect to both the younger queens, still the fire of jealousy used to burn in their hearts. When the king was with the younger queens, Vasundhara did not have any objection. But when the king used to go to Vasundhara, the younger queens used to get jealous. They used to curse Vasundhara in their minds and used to do such wrong things that would spoil Vasundhara's image in the eyes of the king. In front of the king, both the queens used to act as if they loved Vasundhara a lot, but from within they used to burn with jealousy. Vasundhara used to worship Lord Shiva every morning after taking bath and meditation. She would help the needy in the city, feed the hungry and thirsty, and then take food and water herself. On the other hand, Triveni and Rupmala would spend most of their time in dressing up. They would neither serve food or water to any guest, nor would they worry about the royal affairs. Their entire focus would be on pleasing the king. On the other hand, seeing Vasundhara's devotion and service to Shiva, Lord Shiva became pleased and blessed Vasundhara to have a son. When Vasundhara became pregnant and the king came to know about this, his happiness knew no bounds. He called the poor of the entire city and did a lot of charity. On the other hand, when the younger queens heard that the elder queen had become pregnant, they were very upset. They started thinking, the king already loves her more than before. Now, if she gives birth to a son, then all his love will be focused on her. Both of us will be reduced to maids in this palace. They started thinking among themselves, Sister, a disaster has happened. Our luck has run out. The elder queen has won the game and left us penniless. Now she will enjoy her whole life as the queen, and we will remain as her maids. Both of them were burning with jealousy thinking this. They were unable to understand what to do so that the elder queen goes away from the king and their respect remains intact. After thinking for a long time, Rupmala said, Sister, now we will have to do something. If we sit quietly today, then our life will become hell. Already the king loves her a lot. Her luck has run out and our luck just ran out. Thus both the queens were burning in the fire of jealousy. Rupmala said, Sister, before the king loses his love for me, I will go to my mother's house. I cannot live a suffocated life seeing all this. Then Triveni said, Sister, going to my mother's house is not a solution. Think, how many days will you be able to stay there? Ultimately, you will have to return here. If you listen to me, then we will have to stay here and find a solution, so that the king's love for us does not decrease. Then Rupmala said, Sister, Now you think of a solution. I am not able to understand anything." Triveni took a deep breath and said, "Sister, listen carefully. I have a plan in mind. If this plan succeeds, then all our problems will end forever, and both of us will always live with respect in the palace as the beloved queens of the Maharaja." Rupmala said curiously, "Then sister, tell us too, what is the plan?" Triveni started speaking slowly. "If both of us together get the elder queen Vasundhara out of the kingdom, then all the love of the Maharaja will return to us again, and the respect that we have lost will also be regained." Friends, in this way both the younger queens together hatched a terrible conspiracy, a conspiracy to expel Queen Vasundhara from the kingdom. They called the Rajya Pandit to their palaces through their maid. When the Rajya Pandit reached the palace, both the queens respected him a lot. Various types of delicious dishes were prepared to welcome him. As soon as Panditji saw the dishes, his face lit up with happiness. He asked in surprise, "Oh Queen, has all this food been prepared for me?" The queen smiled and said, "Yes, Pandit Maharaj, all this food is for you only. You can eat without worrying." Panditji sat down to eat, and both the queens sat near him and started fanning him. Panditji started thinking, "So much respect? Am I being made a scapegoat today? Like a goat is first fed well and then sacrificed?" Still, after thinking, he said, "Let's see what happens. First, let's eat." He ate delicious dishes to his heart's content, and after eating said, "O Queen, now please tell me what is the reason for such hospitality?" Then Queen Rupmala spoke in a low voice. "O Panditji, we want you to do one thing. You know that the elder queen Vasundhara is pregnant at this time. All you have to do is fill Maharaj's mind with doubts about her. Help us to expel her from the kingdom by accusing her of some kind." Panditji started trembling on hearing this. His face was sweating and his hands and feet became numb. Out of fear, he stood up and said in a trembling voice, "O queens, please forgive me, I cannot commit this grave sin. After so many years our Maharaj is going to have a child, and how can I snatch this happiness from him at such an auspicious time? I do not want to go to hell by committing this sin, and if the king ever comes to know the truth, he will not only hang me but will also punish both of you. So, O queens, please forgive me, I cannot commit this crime." Saying this, Panditji started to get up. But the queens understood that the matter was getting out of hand. She ran and held his hand and insisted him to sit again. Triveni said, "O Panditji, if you do this work for us, we will give you as much money as you ask for, so much money that even if your 7 generations sit and eat, it will not end." Saying this, she placed a heavy bag full of gold coins in front of Panditji. On seeing the bag, Panditji's eyes widened. Greed fever rose inside him. He started thinking, "I cannot earn this much money even in my entire life, so much gold just by telling a lie." Rupmala said, "Oh Panditji, you need not fear the Maharaj. After doing this work, immediately go to some other kingdom, go there and spend the rest of your life peacefully." Now Panditji was trapped in greed. All the knowledge of religion was washed away, and only the shine of gold dominated his mind. He picked up the bag of gold and agreed. Panditji returned to his home, and the next morning he went straight to the king's court. He had deliberately kept a sad face, as if some great calamity had befallen him. When King Hukam Singh saw him so sad, he got worried and asked, "O Raja Pandit, why do you look so worried? Is there anything special?" Panditji said in a heavy voice, "O Maharaj, what should I say? The matter is something like this, but who can avert destiny?" The king said, "Panditji, if even a learned and wise man like you worry, then what will happen to the people? There will definitely be some solution, you tell me. What is the matter?" Panditji took a deep breath and said, "Maharaj, if this calamity had fallen on me, I would have borne it silently. But this crisis is upon you, and upon your kingdom as well. I have lost sleep at night thinking about this." The king's face turned serious. He said loudly, "Oh Panditji, what is the problem that is bothering you so much? Please tell me quickly." Panditji replied slowly, "O king, I have come to know from my astrological knowledge and mantra power that soon a great calamity is going to befall you and your entire kingdom. The time is not auspicious now. The shadow of death is coming near." When the king heard the words of the state pandit, he became deeply worried. He said, What are you saying, Panditji? Is any enemy planning to attack our kingdom? The state Pandit replied in a calm voice. No, Maharaj, it is not like that. King Hukam Singh became anxious. Then what is the calamity that has bothered you so much? The state Pandit took a deep breath and said, O King, I am very worried about your unborn child. The calamity that is going to befall you is not related to any external enemy, but to your own child. The child growing in the womb of your Queen Vasundhara will be the cause of your greatest pain in the future. As soon as you see the face of that child for the first time, both your eyes will be plunged into darkness, and the entire kingdom will be engulfed in a severe epidemic. People will start dying one by one. This is the terrible crisis whose mere thought has made my soul tremble, Maharaj. The king was stunned on hearing this. He took a deep breath and said, O King's Pandit, I do not want to live blind, nor do I want to sacrifice my subjects to the epidemic. But I also do not want to be deprived of the happiness of having children. Is there no such solution by which this calamity can be averted and the happiness of having children can also be maintained? The Pandit looked at the king deeply and said, There is a solution, Maharaj, but it is very difficult, and perhaps you will not be able to do it. The king said in a firm voice, Panditji, you tell me the solution. Whether to do it or not will be my decision. Now the state Pandit suggested a false solution, which was the result of the conspiracy of Queen Triveni and Rupmala. O king, if you want to avoid this crisis, then you will have to abandon your elder queen Vasundhara in this condition. Send her out of the kingdom. Only then this calamity will be averted. Wherever the queen goes, she will give birth to a child safely, but it will not be harmful for the kingdom. King Hukam Singh, who had blind faith in his state Pandit, did not doubt him even a bit. He did not get a chance to understand that the Pandit is no longer true, but has become a slave of selfishness. The king took this matter seriously and took a firm decision to abandon Queen Vasundhara. One day the king said to Queen Vasundhara, Oh dear, it is said that when a woman is pregnant, she should visit pilgrimage places. Doing so has a good effect on the child. Come, let us go on a pilgrimage for some time. Innocent Vasundhara believed the king. She could not understand that this was not a pilgrimage, but the biggest separation of life. The queen said, O Lord, I am in my 8th month. Traveling is not good at this age, but when you are with me, I have no fear. The next day the king and the queen left the palace in a chariot. They passed through many cities and villages. Then when they reached a dense deserted forest, the king stopped the chariot there. Now he started making the queen walk. After walking some distance, the queen said in exhaustion, O Lord, I am very tired. Please rest here under a tree. The king said, Okay, dear, you rest. I will sit near you. The queen was tired and also at peace at heart. She fell asleep as soon as she sat under the shade of a tree. Little did she know that the biggest storm of her life was about to come. Here the king slowly writes something on a paper, and keeping it near the queen, quietly leaves that deserted forest. After some time, when the queen woke up, the king was not with her. She got scared. She looked around, but could not see anyone. Then her eyes fell on that paper. She picked it up with trembling hands and started reading. As soon as she read, tears started flowing from her eyes. It was written on the paper, "Oh, my dear queen, please forgive me. For some unknown reason, I am abandoning you. Now wherever you go, however you live, I have no relation with you." It was as if Queen Vasundhara had been burnt by lightning. She was stunned, speechless. Then suddenly she screamed, "Oh Maharaj, oh Swami, what crime did I commit that you left me in this condition in this dense forest?" The queen kept calling her king here and there in that forest like a mad woman, kept crying, kept screaming. But there was no one to answer her. Her pain was so intense that it is difficult to express in words. She would look in all directions and say, "What crime did I commit? Was my love, my devotion all in vain?" But her question would echo back in that deserted forest without an answer. That helpless Queen Vasundhara was not worried about her life. She was only worried about the new life that was growing in her womb. Had she been alone, she would have probably given up her life. But how could she commit the sin of killing an unborn child? For that 8-month-old child, who had not even seen the outline of the world, she was ready to bear any pain. Vasundhara, alone, helpless, pregnant, kept wandering here and there in that forest. Then she gathered courage and closed her eyes and remembered God. God blessed her, and she saw a narrow path. Walking on that path, she kept wandering hungry and thirsty the whole day. In the evening she reached an ashram. An old ascetic monk lived in the ashram. The monk Maharaj saw that a pregnant woman, helpless alone, wandering in the forest, had reached his hut. He was very surprised, and he immediately gave her water to drink, gave her a seat, and asked affectionately, "Daughter, who are you? Why are you wandering alone in this deserted forest in this condition?" Queen Vasundhara could no longer keep her sorrow inside. She started crying profusely and told the monk Maharaj her entire story of being abandoned by the king. The sadhu took a deep breath and then said with compassion, "Daughter, don't worry now. You have come to the right place. This ashram is now your home. From today you are my daughter and I am your father. Stay in this ashram peacefully as long as you want. No one will trouble you." The words of the sadhu gave the queen a new lease of life. She bowed her head at his feet and took shelter there. Time passed and the time of delivery came near. Under the protection of the same sadhu, the queen gave birth to a son. The sadhu Maharaj named the child Shridhar. Shridhar was the same child whose birth had frightened the king, but whose face was now glowing with gentleness and brilliance. Shridhar grew up and was educated in the ashram itself. It was the sadhu who taught him the Vedas, ethics, weapons, and the scriptures of life. But the other children of the village taunted him. "He is an orphan. He has no father." When Shridhar heard this, he felt very sad. He was used to considering his guru as his father, but when he saw Sadhuji calling his mother daughter, he became suspicious. One day he came to his mother and said, "Mother, all my friends ask who my father is. Mahatmaji calls you daughter. Is he not my father? Tell me the truth, mother. Who is my real father?" Queen Vasundhara looked into her son's eyes but could not answer. She changed the topic every time. For Shridhar, his birth, his identity, and his blood relation remained an unanswered mystery. Time passed. Shridhar was now 16 years old, well-educated, strong, and brilliant. Then one day a distraction came in the ashram. Sadhu Maharaj's end time was near. He called Vasundhara and Shridhar to him and said in a calm voice, "Daughter, now my time is over, but before leaving, I want to give you two divine things." He took out two things from under his stool. First, a miraculous bag. Second, a unique arrow. Then he said, "This bag is divine. Whatever wealth is asked for in it, it will never end. And this arrow? This is a unique weapon. When it is shot, it will not return without piercing its target, no matter who the enemy is in front of you. Protect these two things. They are blessings for your future." Saying this, Sadhu Maharaj gave up his life with utmost peace. Rani and Shridhar performed his last rites as per the rituals. For some time he stayed in the same ashram, but now that place seemed deserted to him. After some time, he left from there, and with the miraculous bag and arrow given by the sadhu, left for the city, the same city where King Hukum Singh ruled. After reaching the city, Vasundhara took a small house on the outskirts of the city and started living quietly with Shridhar. 5 years passed, but Vasundhara never even dared to look towards the palace. Nor did she ever tell Shridhar that the king of the same city, Hukum Singh, was his father. Meanwhile, in the palace, Queen Triveni had completely entrapped King Hukum Singh in her web of love. He now listened only to Triveni's words, had become a slave to her desires. The younger queen Rupmala had now become just a spectator. She would sometimes yearn to see the king in the palace, but now neither Rupmala's eyes nor her calls rested on Hukum Singh. Queen Triveni had now completely taken control of King Hukum Singh. She would never give the king an opportunity to go near his younger queen, Rupmala. The king too had become so entangled in her love that he would do whatever Triveni said. He was no longer a king, but had become Triveni's slave. The administration of the royal court was now in the hands of his ministers. The king himself would stay in Queen Triveni's room day and night, aloof from the kingdom, the people, and his duties. Seeing all this, the younger queen Rupmala was jealous of him. The changing behavior of the king was breaking her from within. Slowly she had understood that the king was now deliberately keeping a distance from her. One day, distressed by this disdain and loneliness, Queen Rupmala also stopped caring about the king. She now fell in love with one of her own ministers. Their meetings increased secretly. The minister, who appeared to be the king's servant from outside, was plotting a deep conspiracy from within. Rukmala was now not only his lover, but had become a participant in the conspiracy. She started telling the minister many secrets of the king. The minister thought, when the queen is with me and I have the inside information of the kingdom, then why not usurp this entire kingdom? He held secret talks with the king of the neighboring kingdom. You attack our kingdom with your entire army, he said. When the time comes, I will order the army to retreat from my side. When the king is left alone, we will capture him and divide half of his kingdom between us. The neighboring king immediately accepted this proposal. One day, finding an opportunity, the neighboring kingdom attacked with its troops. The city was surrounded from all sides. King Hukum Singh, even at that time, was resting in Queen Triveni's room. Suddenly, a bodyguard came running inside and said in panic, Maharaj, the enemy has surrounded our kingdom from all 4 directions. The citizens are frightened and are running to save their lives. King Hukum Singh was completely shocked. He immediately took up arms and started preparing for war. He left for the battlefield with the army. The war continued for some time, but the king did not know that this conspiracy had originated from his own court. The minister had secretly ordered his soldiers to give up their weapons at the right time. As soon as the king saw that his army was being killed in vain, he gave the signal to surrender. Now the enemy army and the minister's army had united. The king was left alone. How long can a brave man fight alone? The king started losing courage. The enemy army surrounded him from all sides and started preparing to capture him. At that very moment, a radiant young man appeared from the dust in the sky of the battlefield, as if the rays of the sun themselves had descended with a sword. He kept moving forward, cutting and slicing the enemies, and reached straight to King Hukum Singh. He said in a fearless voice, Maharaj, do not panic. The enemies are coming closer. You pick up your bow. The war is not over yet. As long as I'm alive, defeat is impossible. The king was stunned to see his bravery and brilliance. He started thinking, who is this? Who is the one who has come to protect me at this time? It was none other than Sridhar himself, the son of King Hukum Singh. But both of them were unaware of this secret. When the king hesitated to take up arms, the young man himself took the bow from his hand and took out a miraculous arrow from his back. He took aim and shot the arrow towards the enemy soldiers. That arrow was like a harbinger of destruction. Hundreds of soldiers fell on the ground in one go. And then, that arrow returned to the same young man's hand. Seeing this, King Hukum Singh was stunned. Now the young man shot the same arrow again and again, and every time the arrow returned, killing the enemies. Once one arrow and thousands of soldiers were killed. The enemy army was terrified. They could not believe that this was possible with one arrow. The neighboring king and the minister were stunned. They started trembling. Now they were not afraid of capturing the king, but of saving their own lives. The enemy army started retreating. The minister's face had turned pale. King Hukum Singh was still thinking, who is this brave man? Whose son is he? And where did he get this divine arrow? Friends, when Veer Sridhar strung his divine arrow for the 3rd time, there was a stampede among the enemy forces. They could clearly see that now this warrior would not leave anyone alive. The entire battlefield was in a state of panic. The king of the neighboring country also fled with his entire army in fear. Thus, a single Veer Sridhar won that battle. King Hukum Singh was amazed. He looked at that brilliant young man and said, "Oh Kumar, who are you? You turned the tables of the battle with an arrow in the blink of an eye. Blessed is the mother who gave birth to a wonderful warrior like you. Oh brave warrior, I salute your art of war. If you had not come on time, the enemy would have taken me prisoner. You not only saved my life, but also saved this entire kingdom." The king was not getting tired of praising that warrior again and again. He said, "Oh brave warrior, I want you to come with me to the palace. Give me an opportunity to host and honor you." The king brought Sridhar to the palace. He was given a seat respectfully. Various dishes were served. After the meal, the king asked affectionately, "Oh brave boy, who are you? Who are your parents, and where do they live?" The young man replied politely, "Maharaj, my name is Sridhar. I do not know my father, but my mother's name is Vasundhara. We both live in your city." On hearing this, a wave of emotion ran through the king's heart. Vasundhara? This was the same name that belonged to his most beloved queen years ago, whom he had abandoned at the behest of the royal priest. The king was startled and said, "Son, did you never ask your mother about your father?" Sridhar said, "I asked many times, Maharaj, but mother avoided the question every time. She never told me who my father is." King Hukum Singh now began to tremble from within. A storm of thoughts rose in his mind. Is this my son, Vasundhara's son, the one whom I had abandoned in the forest? But immediately his mind argued, no, if this was my son, then as the Pandit had said, I would have become blind on seeing him, but till now I am completely healthy. After this the king said, "Oh son, can you introduce me to your mother? I want to thank her, who gave birth to a brave man like you." Sridhar replied respectfully, "Maharaj, of course. You come with me. I will introduce you to my mother." King Hukum Singh reached Sridhar's house with him, dressed as a commoner. What he saw there made his feet tremble. The woman standing in front of him was none other than his queen Vasundhara herself, the same one whom he had left alone in the forest during pregnancy. The king's eyes became moist. He said, "Vasundhara, are you the mother of this brave young man?" Tears flowed from Vasundhara's eyes too. She stepped forward and fell at the king's feet. "Maharaj, you have recognized me. Yes, I am your queen Vasundhara, the one you left in the jaws of death." The king asked, "This brave young man?" Vasundhara said, "Maharaj, this is your son, the unfortunate one who did not even know who his father was till today." Sridhar had been standing silent till now. When he heard this, he was stunned. Slowly he went to his father, and bowing at his feet, asked for his blessings. The king took him in his arms and said with tears, "Son, forgive me. I caused you and your mother pain throughout their lives by a foolish decision. Now both of you come with me to the palace." Vasundhara said, "Maharaj, I will come with you only when you tell me why you left me alone in that dense forest." The king told him everything. The royal priest had said that I would go blind as soon as I saw my son, and the kingdom would be in trouble. Out of this fear, I committed that sin. Vasundhara said in a calm voice, "Maharaj, if that were true, you would have gone blind on seeing my son on the battlefield, but you are completely healthy. This means that the priest deceived you." The king became angry. He immediately called the royal priest to the court. When questioned, he started making excuses. But when the king warned him in strong words, the priest revealed the truth. "Maharaj, please forgive me. Your two other queens, Triveni and Rupmala, lured me into telling this lie. This was all their trick." The king's anger was now at its peak. He immediately ordered both the queens and this royal priest should be immediately put in prison. Both the queens pleaded with folded hands, "Maharaj, please forgive us. We have made a mistake." But the king did not listen to them. They were sent to jail. When the whole truth was revealed to Queen Vasundhara, she looked at King Hukum Singh and said with deep pain, "Oh Maharaj, no matter how close a relative someone is, one should never believe his 3 words without thinking. First thing, when someone provokes you to kill an innocent, then do not believe his words without thinking, because after a life is taken away, nothing comes back with repentance. Second thing, when someone tries to create a rift in your family, poisons relationships, then never take a decision without investigating his words. The unity of the family is the real strength of the king. Third and most serious thing, if someone slanders your wife, sister, brother, or parents, then believing them without proof is the biggest injustice. Many times a person takes such decisions in anger and haste, under the influence of others, which turn into regret for the whole life." While saying this, the queen's eyes became moist. King Hukum Singh was filled with remorse after listening to Queen Vasundhara's words. Tears started flowing from his eyes. He hugged his son and the queen and started asking for forgiveness profusely. "Forgive me, Vasundhara. I rejected the Lakshmi of my own house without recognizing her." Queen Vasundhara said with a sad heart, "King, the one who accepts his mistake is a true righteous man. I forgive you." After this, King Hukum Singh not only followed his Rajya Dharma, but also fulfilled his Dharma as a father and husband with full devotion. The king, Queen Vasundhara and their son, all three together started a new life full of love, faith, and justice. Dear friends, if this message has touched your heart, please like this video, share it with your friends and family, and do not forget to subscribe to our channel. Your every like and share gives us energy to bring more inspirational stories. While going, you also say Jai Shri Narayan.